Let's take up diet first. What is food? Food has three main macronutrients: proteins, fat, and carbohydrates, and micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. And sixth is water. Nature wants you to stay in balance, where primarily the calories come from complex carbohydrates, which includes whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables, quality protein, and quality fat. Our diet at this time is very high content in processed carbohydrates and saturated and trans fats. Not all fats are created equal. Saturated fats are the one which are solid on room temperature, like our butter, margarine. Our unsaturated fats are the one which are liquid at room temperature, olive oil, avocado oil, and other vegetable oils. And third is the trans fats. Those are the one which we create. We have a unsaturated fat and we hydrogenate, meaning we add hydrogen bonds to that. That provides stability. The fat doesn't go rancid. It makes your food crispy. The crispiness partly comes from that. And it also tinkers with your taste buds differently. So the food becomes more palatable. And that is what has been hacked up by our food industry. And they use trans fats. Many times they use good oils. On the label you will read perfect oil, but they hydrogenate it and they convert it to trans fat. That's exactly what happened when you're eating a lot of fried foods, and these fast food joints, they do not change the oil frequent enough, and with the heat that good oil gets transferred, get converted into saturated fats. So these fats, when get consumed, they go to the liver and they guide liver to produce what kind of cholesterol they are going to produce. That's how fat and the cholesterol are linked. When you consume a lot of saturated fats, they make your liver to produce a lot of VLDL, which is a first vehicle which liver creates, which is loaded with cholesterol and fat. And they also not only make a lot of bad cholesterol, bad vehicles, or they put a lot of cars on the traffic, they also create a lot of towing trucks. Your HDL also increases. So when you eat butter and other saturated fats, you could expect that your LDL cholesterol will go up and your HDL cholesterol will go up. And jury's out how much they each go up and what is the net result. But what we know for sure is the kind of HDL cholesterol, it is very favorable, and the LDL cholesterol, the size of those trucks is very big, and big fluffy cholesterol do not fit into those endothelial gaps where it can give you a lot of atherosclerosis and plaque formation. Unsaturated fats, those are the heroes. Those include avocado oils, peanut, and olive oil. Those are unsaturated. They go to your liver and direct it to produce still LDL cholesterol through VLDL, but they produce a lot more HDL cholesterol or towing trucks. So a lot of cars do get put on the street, but the towing trucks to bring the things back, or the cholesterol being brought back from peripheral circulation back to the liver for metabolism, also gets increased. But with the trans fats, the problem is it puts a lot of vehicles or LDL cholesterol particles in your circulation and they decrease your HDL cholesterol. That is one of the main concepts for you to understand why fast foods and then trans fats in the processed foods, they are detrimental to you. Second macronutrient is your carbohydrate. Whenever you consume carbohydrates, your body produces insulin. Insulin is the key which opens the cell so that this carbohydrate could be pushed into the cell so that it could prepare and that it can get into the cell and could be burnt or used up for energy production. Unfortunately, if you're consuming too much of carbohydrates, then insulin level will stay high and this insulin directs your liver to produce a lot of LDL cholesterol, and that LDL cholesterol get into your circulation and ultimately clogs up the arteries. How processed foods and carbohydrates increase your cholesterol is through your liver, because insulin overrides the homeostatic mechanism where it does not obey the regular rules of supply and demand on which the body is being built. Lack of exercise. Muscles pick up these materials to use up for energy and also to repair them. When you don't do any exercise, your demand is going down, and with your food, you're overriding your physiological process. Sleep. People will wonder why sleep is important for cholesterol. Sleep is the most active period for your body where a lot of repair happen. Your body, when repairs, it uses cholesterol and energy to regenerate itself. If you are constantly not sleeping, there is a hormone called ghrelin, GHRELIN. Ghrelin hormone A will make you hungry. That's why you might have seen, if you don't sleep, you keep on circling the refrigerator and keep on eating snacks and more snacks, and this cascade goes through whole night. This ghrelin also known to decrease your HDL cholesterol. That is double whammy, and it helps to continue to make your conditions worse. Next is, how do we handle this homeostatic dysfunction? By eating whole foods, fruits and vegetables, and trying to consume more polyunsaturated fats if you have to, and decrease your saturated fats and totally avoiding trans fats. Now let us take up different kind of vehicles or cholesterol particles. Let's take up cholesterol subparticles in detail. If you ever gotten a blood test report, it will give you total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, and triglyceride cholesterols. These numbers mean different things for different reasons for different people. Total cholesterol is definitely a total load, that truck which combine all the trucks on the road they are carrying. That's like a total cargo or freight which is floating in your circulation. Triglycerides is the fat part which also travel with the cholesterol on these lipoprotein vehicles or particles. That gives you idea how much fat you are digesting. When liver starts producing cholesterol and the cholesterol has to be carried, the first kind of vehicle or particle lipoprotein vehicle which creates is called VLDL, very low density lipoprotein. This vehicle is VLDS vehicle is released into the circulation, and when the cells take up some cholesterol out of it, it gets converted into LDL cholesterol. This LDL cholesterol is the one which is the most numerous, because a small part of the freight is taken out and these vehicles are running around all over our body and to our arteries and trying to clog them up. HDL cholesterol, they are the one which are being responsible for bringing this cholesterol which is unused back to the liver, because liver can destroy it, liver can store it, and liver can recycle it based on the needs. So that is your HDL cholesterol, because it's a reverse transport. All other vehicles are taking the things away from the factory, and this is bringing the back to the factory. That's why high HDL is the one which helps you to keep your arteries clean and keep the cargo back to the liver. What are the normal values of the cholesterol? Every lab will give you a reference range, but your total cholesterol we always want to keep less than 240. Second component, your LDL cholesterol, we want to keep less than 100 all the time. And if you're diabetic or you already have a heart attack and stroke, goal is to bring it in 70s. Your HDL cholesterol is the good cholesterol because it picks up the cholesterol from your body and also from your plaques and bring it to the liver to be used. That's the one which we want as high as possible. HDL cholesterol can be increased with exercise. Saturated and polyunsaturated fats, when they consume, they not only increase the LDL cholesterol, but they also increase your HDL cholesterol. And polyunsaturated fatty acids like olive oil and avocado oil, they increase your good cholesterol to a higher level. One drink for a female and maximum two drinks for a male which is either 30 ml of a hard liquor, whiskey, scotch, or 1 glass of wine or 1 can of beer per day is shown to increase your HDL cholesterol. I'm not recommending that you start drinking to increase the HDL cholesterol, but that's where the science is because it induces liver to produce your HDL cholesterol. When your doctor is looking at your cholesterol profile, within 1 second, he knows what you're doing. If your total cholesterol is very high, unless you are suffering from familial hyperlipidemia, which is a very rare condition, he knows that your eating patterns are wrong. If your triglycerides are very high, he and she very well knows that you are consuming a lot of processed meats and processed carbohydrates. Then the ratio of total cholesterol and your triglycerides and LDL cholesterol to HDL, all these particles, which is LDL, total cholesterol, and non-HDL cholesterol, they all are on one side and HDL is on the other side because they both perform opposite functions in the body. If the ratio of total cholesterol to HDL is distorted, or your triglycerides are very high, or the ratio of LDL cholesterol to HDL cholesterol is unfavorable, or total cholesterol minus HDL ratio to HDL cholesterol is distorted, you are at high risk to make plaques. I wanted you to have a analogy in your mind that the cholesterol which you are looking at your blood test, that is telling you about the number of vehicles or lipoproteins which are in circulation, and HDL, LDL, triglyceride, total cholesterol, and non-HDL cholesterol, they all are subfractionated and they're telling you the physiological state you are in. One more concept regarding LDL cholesterol which is worth mentioning is the LDL cholesterol is the main vehicle which is carrying total amount of cholesterol or transporting the total amount of cholesterol in the body. But when we do the lab test, we only know how many this total cargo or the load of cholesterol is in these different vehicles. But it does not tell the number of vehicles. That is why now with the latest technology, we could check how many LDL particles which are circulating in the blood. We can test and we could know exactly how many LDL particles are in the circulation. Because if too many particles, this means they can carry a lot of load, they will create congestion and they will ultimately lead to plaque formation. And we have surrogate markers. There is a lipoprotein which is called ApoB, which is on VLDL, IDL, and LDL cholesterol. Those are the one which are trucks which are impregnated with the one which are taking the cholesterol away. And ApoA1, which is the protein which is on the HDL cholesterol. Now, if you're diabetic or you already have a heart attack and stroke, we do routinely this protein B and ApoA1 levels because it tells you how many particles which are in the circulation. So your cholesterol will give you the load, and these lipoprotein analysis will give us how many particles are in circulation. I hope that I have given you a little bit more clearer understanding about cholesterol, how you can interpret your dietary habits and how your dietary habits affect cholesterol, what is the importance of cholesterol, and how fat and the cholesterol, they both, one is energy depot and the other one is the builder of material for the body. They are being carried down on these vehicles, and then eventually you have insight to properly modify your diets, exercise, sleep. We will be creating a lot of content on cholesterol. Please look at the playlist and follow us, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in next video where we will discuss the effects of different diets on cholesterol. Thank you very much. See you in next video.